Hi, welcome back to West Coast Geeks. I'm your host, Joaquin. How we doing, people? So today's video is a quick video on are you going to introduce this alchemy into your games? Because there are some cool ways for them to make potions out in the wild. You got animal speaking, featherfall, glorious vaulting, which come in handy. Definitely the potions of healing and greater healing and superior healing. You're not always going to be next to a village or a city or whatever. A potion of mind reading can come in handy. Potion of speed. I love the ingredients on these type of potions where if you kill gnolls and hyenas, you know if you get enough of them, if you get like 3, I believe, you can make a potion of speed, which is cool. Yeah. So hyena ears or no ears, and then you got to also have assault too. So depending on how elaborate you'd like to make these, um, you can get crazy with it. The only thing that I would definitely change on this is like the elixir of giant strength. So they want fingernails, but if they kill a giant, they're gonna have 10 giant strength. So I believe at one point it's usually like the heart. So as long as they get a heart and they get, we're using the Baldur's Gate, a suspension, then they can mix those together and get and make a giant's potion. So right here, these are different herbs they can get, and the belladonna. These are another herbs. Pegasus feathers are different. Um, because Pegasus feathers are a lot rarer, what I would substitute is like giant eagle or giant rock, any kind of giant bird. Tongue of Madness, you can only find like certain things in the Underdark. And you have like Whispering Weeds, which is pretty cool because this is just a weed that you can use. Same thing with the salt. You're going to find certain ingredients down in the Underdark where mugwort should be common. So if the players encourage the player characters to look for these type of plants. So you got the yellow musk creeper petals, and what I would do is make up your own system where they would use a survival check, and those ingredients that are a little bit rare, like to make a superior or a higher dosage of the healing potion, I'd set it up like a little bit normal. And so every day you can tell them they can make a check when they come into a new area. And this can make like traveling more fun for them, where they're not necessarily just doing an encounter. You can just say, okay, you're traveling, not much of an incident. For those of you who want to forage, make your survival check, and then you see how many you get. And depending on what the degree of the potion is, you could either roll like a d4, a d6, a d8. I wouldn't go higher than a d8. And let them spend their downtime crafting potions. Also, too, um, dang, I didn't want to get on these. So you have the suspensions, like I said, and these are other things that you can find and use to crafting. And you're gonna have to make up your own system. But the coatings, I think, are great. Basic poison, um, any of these ashes. Oil of sharpness is pretty cool. Once you're in the Underdark, Drow potion, malice. Oil of accuracy is supposed to help you. Oil of combustion is great. So um, a lot of these coatings are pretty cool. Other ones, let them make alchemist fire. So you need a fire amber, and that's usually in the Underdark. And then it's Eddie Salt, and then you got a Heartlight Bomb, which actually I haven't used in a while. So let me see if I still have that. And of course, you got a little web grenade that you can make from, I believe, Lost special candles under ashes. Nope, it's under here. Yeah. So you should be able to find a recipe to make Loth special candles, and then those can be used into a grenade. So yeah, I'm rich. Woohoo! 7,715 gold. All right, enough of my shenanigans. But diluted oil of sharpness, +1 to attack rolls. So these type of ingredients, just to give your party an edge, it only takes a bonus action to coat your weapons with poison, where they can fall asleep for 10 turns. So say you just want to knock somebody out with a blowgun um, or another weapon. Um, Even a dagger or slight nick would knock them out without doing too much damage. Elixir of poison resistant, these are great. So if you're going to be having encounters where you know there's going to be giant spiders or creatures that have really lethal poison, give them an opportunity to find these. Potions of animal speaking are great when you're out exploring. You can always ask a chipmunk or a bird, like, "Hey, what's going on around here? Like, what do you always see, and what are you running away from?" And if you give them a little bit of food, I'm sure they'll give you some information. We already did that. Potions of Featherfall, those are really great and handy. Um, Potion Vigilance, that's also great. You drink it, and then until your next long rest, you get +5 to your initiative. And here's the thing about elixirs, though. If you drink an elixir and then you drink like giant strength, the giant strength will counteract the elixir. With the potions, it won't happen. You can drink an elixir and drink a potion of healing or any other potion and gain the effect. Elixir of Bloodlust, 5 temporary hit points. Replaces effects from other elixirs when drunk, see? And you should keep that rule, otherwise these things will just get out of hand. Good berries, that's just stuff you can find where this berry will heal you 1 to 4 hit points, and it's not even a druid spell, it's just something, a bush you can find. I gotta get rid of these. Um, Let them craft special arrows. Arrows of darkness, beast slaying, especially acid arrows. Those are pretty cool. And then you got wyvern point toxin. That's nice. Um, Wizard's Bane oil, where it's -3 penalty for spell attack rolls and spell saving DCs, and disadvantage on saving throws for maintaining concentration for 2 turns. I mean, a lot of these arrows are cool, man. Your character can basically become Hawkeye. And of course, give them opportunities to craft special scrolls, and take a look at their magical items, and give them opportunities to either craft or buy these, especially like a haste helm. That's pretty cool. The Watcher's Guide, all these, they have some nice, unique magical items. Here's a rare item that you can use once a day. Speak with the dead, as long as the person who uses it is not the person who killed the creature or whatever. Those are interesting ways for them to get some questions. Envoy Amulet. Actually, I've never even used this, and I've been playing the game for so long. These special gloves for monks. Bracing band. These are all magical items that you can use to increase your unique magical items. The spider's lyre, you can add something different to that. But oh man, I know what brought me to here before. God, I could have swore I had a spider grenade. I got all these books, but I want to do a separate video talking about the information that you can use on these. Here's the spider egg sac that you can find when you're looking for the Harper information. So that could be an uncommon magical item. But when they buy it, they should have to use it within a week, or then it's going to hatch on them. Smoke powder satchel, definitely let the kobolds get a hold of this, where um, they can craft these. Everybody can craft these. Um, it should be hard to craft these because you're going to need some kind of like smoke powder, and even the kobolds won't have more than one per encounter. Same thing that goes with the smoke bomb, smoke powder bomb, a different thing, where you have force damage. Oh, wait, they're both the same, right? Just this one does um, a little bit more, like 1 millimeter dexterity save. So this one, well, yeah, it's weird. So you got force damage, you got force damage. It's just two different bombs. So, oh, no, sorry, folks, that just threw me off. And you got a poisonous slime bomb, which you throw, and people are affected with can be affected with a poison condition. That's definitely something that I would have kobolds use. I would definitely, when it comes to like basic toxins, would have goblins use those usually on your characters. Where I wouldn't have four goblins attacking your first level with all of them poison, but have one goblin with three or four of these special arrows. Yeah, just to put a little bit of fear into them. Another goblin could have a +1, could have an oil on him. Like I wouldn't go more than two specialty items on goblins and stuff, especially with dealing with first level characters. So, what magical items are you going to use? Well, not magical items because we're going to do that separate video. But are you going to use the alchemy system? Are you going to let your players craft potions, elixirs, grenades, alchemist fire, web grenades, special coatings? Are you going to use their systems on how they make these items? Leave a comment below. Would love to hear from you. So tongue tied right now. And with that, people, I hope you guys are having a great week, and I will catch you later. Take care.